Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Blessed is the one who finds wisdom, and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is understanding, understanding. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way?
Hey everybody, it's Brad
And I'm Christa.
with the Big Family Homestead. Hope you're having an awesome and blessed day so far, whenever you're watching this video. Today, we've got a pretty important topic to deal with.
Yes. We, as you guys may know, we like to prepare for
What if?
whatever.
Whatever.
The whatevers.
You never
right?
know.
Yeah. I mean, we live in central
It could
Wisconsin.
happen. Whatever.
Right. We live in central Wisconsin. You know, we get nasty weather here, and we could be stuck at home for a long time. So we prepare for that. Or
Stuff and things could happen. You never know.
I mean, I'm waiting for the zombies to come. We're building up our, treadmills around the house.
That way they can't get
So
in.
they can't get in. All we have to do is turn them on.
Well, if you get the old school kind, then they're just always ready to go.
That's true.
Zombies won't get in here. Oh, no.
No. Oh, no. No, never.
But you never know what could happen.
You never know.
Everything from natural disasters to unnatural disasters.
Or the man-made kind.
That would be an unnatural
The unnatural.
disaster.
Oh, yeah. I guess that would be. Yeah, that would be.
You know, the thing. Says
thing.
Gunner says.
That's right.
Well,
Right.
while this video is intended to be long-term in terms of people can watch it after the live stream is over, be aware, you folks in the chat, please add your 2 cents because it is recorded along with the video and people can watch those comments even after the fact. So,
And even though a lot of people say, don't give me your 2 cents, we want your 2 cents
Bring it
because your
on.
2 cents is valuable.
I'll bet you the log cabin artist has 2 cents.
I say that, and it sounded very sarcastic, but it's not actually. We don't have the corner market on the know-it-all spectrum,
Or the stuff and things.
So
true.
yeah, we're willing to learn from our mistakes,
And
'cause
we're not afraid to actually point them out either.
Right.
So the log cabin artist, we grew up in Southwest Florida for the longest time.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
you know the things.
The things, yeah. And you can keep your weather.
Southwest Florida?
Southwest Florida is a nice place to visit.
It's too hot.
I don't want to live there anymore. Nope.
It's still snowing.
Well, not currently at the moment, but we still get snow until middle April.
So,
and then it's mud season.
It is mud season coming up.
Yeah, you know how they say April flowers bring May flowers?
Showers,
April showers brings May mud. So
I think you might have got that.
no. No, I didn't.
Okay, let's go with that then. What she said.
Because that's what I made up. I didn't get it wrong because I made it up.
Okay. All right. Broadcast professionals at the helm here.
Wahaha.
Yes. So we went and found a list, several lists that were compiled into a singular list because I like lists.
I was going to say, you know how Brad and his lists, you know how much he loves his lists.
I don't like to forget things.
No.
And so I went and found the experts' websites. And I threw up the air quotes on that on purpose. The experts say.
That's just too comical for me, the experts.
And we're going to talk about some of these things that we really honestly and truthfully do believe you should get now. Because I got to tell you what, there's a lot of supply chain things that are happening right now, 2023, early part of 2023, that are going to have ripple effects that is going to blow you away, guys. For those of you guys who watch the Monkey Works channel, you know that there are thousands and thousands of ships parked off of some country over there somewhere that normally come here filled with stuff and things. And they're parked there instead of bringing stuff and or things this way. You got to be careful what you say because YouTube is already not happy with us.
No, the stuff and things are parked out at sea.
Yep. Yep. So here's the scoop with that. And no, it's not just eggs.
Experts. Yes.
Eggs is one of them. Eggs are one of them. Eggs are.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
So here is a few of the top things that the experts say. Now, this first one, by the way, these are not necessarily in order of importance. We'll give you our 2 cents as we go, and you give your 2 cents as you go. Tammy? Yes. Sandy? Teresa? All of y'all. Say hi to everybody.
Hi,
Type
everybody.
something in there.
Yep.
Give a thumbs up. Okay. Top one that they say. I don't think this is I think this is important, but nowhere near the top of our list.
Oh, no. An alternative power source.
Solar, generator, propane. Okay. Important.
Yeah.
Yes. Important.
Right.
But here's a thought. If nobody has power where you live, except for the people that have generators, who's the target?
You are.
Who's everybody gonna want to be friends with?
You are. What is that movie? What is that from? It's from a movie.
No,
anyway,
we
it doesn't matter.
tease Brutus like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, our dog Brutus.
Who's a big dummy?
He's a lovable ding dong. Let's just say that way.
He really is.
So we talk to him like, oh, who's a silly big goofball ding dong?
You are.
And he's just like, ha, ha, ha. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, squirrel. So, yeah, alternative power source. But yes, if you are the only one that has power on your block, guess who's coming for dinner?
Well,
all your neighbors.
And you may say solar. And I say, yes, better option there for a lot of reasons because you don't have to feed it.
Right.
It's going to feed you.
Right.
However, think about this. What are you going to use it on?
Right.
Like if nobody else has power, well, you're not calling anybody on the phone because all of the
Towers
equipment, towers would be down. So that's out. So hoarding your phone, you can't scroll on
You can't
TikTok
scroll on
anymore.
the big TikTok or Twitter or
You can't twitch it up.
can't twitch. Twitch is a thing.
Yeah, I know. It's
a
a gaming.
Yeah, that's
kind of
weird. Anyway,
social media.
Yeah, nope. There's no Xbox. There's no whatever they all are. I don't even know. So yeah.
So
yeah.
Alternative power supply. I think it's very important because if you are somebody that needs like refrigerated medicines, that's way higher on your list.
Sure.
But it's not higher than, say, I don't know, fresh water.
Right. I mean, yeah, you can keep your medicines, from spoiling. You can keep your milk from spoiling, whatever. But water is kind of important. If you don't have access to fresh water, what is it? 3 days, 7 days.
3 days, you're in trouble.
3 days, you're in trouble. Your organs are going to start shutting down.
But before we get too far away from the alternate power source, I do want to add some thought to why I do think it's important, just not number one. Another thing is refrigerated medicines, like I said, but also if you have to, like a CPAP machine or any kind of medical equipment that's going to help you,
breathe.
Yeah, the Dan Bongino rule.
Don't get dead. Yeah.
That's a good rule to have.
There's that. Yeah.
I like that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy, rule number 1 is don't tell anyone what you have.
Oops. We've told everybody.
Wait a minute. Nobody's coming where we're at.
All you guys know what we have, right?
Well, you think you do.
Right.
You think you do.
Wink, wink.
Let's just say that there are many, many, many ways that people reasons people wouldn't want to come around here.
No.
A lot of reasons. Anyway, so while power, I think, is an important one, I don't think it's number 1. Number 1 is probably number 3 or 2 3s. 3. Number 2, a really high one on the priority list.
It's high up there. I mean, what you need to do is you need to make a list of the things that your family needs. And water probably should be the top one.
Okay, water is yes, but I need to respond to a comment there. Tony Lee.
Yep.
A solar generator will run a well pump. I don't think so.
No.
We've tried it. Unless you got a big one, it's not going to run a well pump. And the reason why is the amp draw on a well pump is really high.
Yeah.
It's really high. We had what's the big one that we have? The portable one. Is it a 2500?
I don't know the specs on them. That is one thing that is not in my brain.
It's a 2500 watt solar where it'll consistently give that at one shot, and then the peak is higher, and it would not even kick over our well pump. So that's one thing I saw it. I wanted to make sure that you've tested it, because maybe yours is bigger or better, but the average portable solar generator is not going to do it.
Yeah.
So there. Now back to water.
Okay. So water.
Fresh water.
Everybody needs water, and the FEMA says you need to have at least 72 hours of water, potable water for each member of your family. Okay, what if power's out for longer than 72 hours? Kind of need more water than that.
And how much water are you saying you need per day?
Right.
So I would recommend differently than they would recommend.
Sure.
I would recommend that you have at least 5 gallons per person per day.
Yeah. Because you need to clean, eat, drink, water.
And sanitation.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, the clean part.
Right.
Yeah, cleaning and sanitizing, that's those are the same things. You're going to have to make sure things are clean, because if you don't have, if you don't have access to fresh water for a week or 2 or more, diseases are going to start popping up that haven't been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
You're going to need to learn how to sanitize things with that said water, and you're going to need other things to sanitize with.
Going back to the power thing again, Space Girl says, we run our well pump on the house batteries charged by solar panels. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Make sure your inverter can handle the surge.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Good call.
Thank you. So, I only take a bath on Saturdays, I guess, says Tammy.
She doesn't say, she's not saying that. She said only take a bath
I
on
didn't
Saturdays,
see that.
I guess.
Sorry, Tammy.
The camera is kind of blocking part of your comment, so he
everybody-
missed the first part. No.
Everybody's got their own thing. That's
It's you
saying.
all, well, think about, farmers and how often did they take baths, 150 years ago?
It was
once a month?
It was not an easy thing to do.
No, because you got to draw the water out of the well. Then you got to heat the water and,
Okay, one thing they do have on this list that I do agree with, not necessarily way up high on the top, but it's up there, is water containers and filters. Do you have a way to filter water that you went and dunked out of a lake nearby? Or rain catchment off your roof? Would you have a way to filter it? Because boiling it is great, but that doesn't kill all the nasty stuff.
You got to filter out the stuff that's floating. You got to filter all that nonsense out, then boil it.
Well, and filtering it is still a very good idea because there's a lot of smaller particulate that can get through.
Yep.
I have made sand filters for rain catchment systems, and they work really well. But it's not just sand. You can look at our videos, but bottom line, I took a 55-gallon drum, and then you have different layers of sand, charcoal, and gravel. And charcoal, I mean chunks of charcoal, like big chunks of charcoal, and it's in layers. And then down at the bottom, there's several screens that when the water finally comes out of that, it's going to be super clean and usable. But I'd still even boil that, guys.
Yep.
I'd still boil that.
Yes.
Weapons Junkie says certain well pumps draw power differently. Yes, sir. Jet pumps require 240 volts. Yes,
Yowza.
sir.
That's a lot.
And even if you did have a solar system that was big enough, it's going to drain your batteries fast. Don't let it run long.
No, I would switch that on only for short times if you can.
Okay. Now, there are some items that they go over in this list that I think are secondary to shelter. Wherever it is that you live, do you have proper shelter in season and out of season? We live in central Wisconsin, and therefore our shelter, we're including things like, do you have a way to heat it?
Yep.
Do you have firewood? Do you have, for us, a wood burning stove is invaluable.
Yes, it really, really is. We have one down in our garage that it is hooked up to a blower and our central heat and air. We have central heat and air that's run by propane. That's considered our backup because we mainly run on wood heat, but it runs through that central heat and air to circulate that heat throughout the house. If that isn't the case, then the heat does still come up through the vents and things like that. It just takes a little bit longer to warm up.
Yeah, it's basically like this. When your house actually physically warms up, the walls,
everything,
the stuff, the inside the walls and the wood and all of that stuff, then it'll stay warm for quite a while.
Yep.
And for those of you who know the feeling of wood heat,
oh, it's amazing.
it's so different than electric heat.
It is so different than electric heat and even propane heat. They just heat the air, where wood heat actually, like Brad said, heats all of your furniture, the walls, all the wood in the walls, and it does retain that heat a whole lot longer.
Yeah. Now, here's one that I see that is on this list. And by the way, if you see us looking over here, it's because we have a screen with the list on it, so we're cheating, so we don't have to go. I don't know what to do with my hands.
We can't retain that many things on a list. Let's just say that.
This one is goofy, and it's in their top 10. Charcoal and lighter fluid. Now, I suppose I understand that if they're saying, hey, city dwellers, charcoal and lighter fluid, so you can cook, maybe boil water, but hold on a second.
Charcoal?
Now, let's say that you're 3 days into a major something. We don't know what the stuff and or things is, but something bad happened, right? You're 3 days in. You're out grilling burgers. Who just became the most popular guy in town?
Yeah. Everybody around.
Bad idea.
Yeah. Everybody around's coming to join you for dinner.
And even if nobody came around saying, hey, heard the buffet's open. If they didn't do that, let's think of it like this. You're going to run out soon. Mm-hmm. Do you know how to chop down a tree? Do you know how to make a fire with basic tools?
Let's see. Probably not.
Most people don't.
Most people don't. No.
I probably have those little, the little magnesium sticks? I've got them laying around the house everywhere.
I think they're downstairs in the drawer. Yeah.
It's really, really not hard to get their like $3 and $4 magnesium fire starter sticks. I learned when I was a Boy Scout that you scrape off the shavings and then you turn it around, and then there's a spark. You have it on your bird's nest. That's what they call it.
I know. It's just funny to watch you do it.
And you're very gentle. And then
you have fire.
You put on your little sticks. And then the little sticks become bigger sticks, right? It's not rocket science. You just got to actually do it. You got to learn it.
Goodness.
Now, for cooking, if I would suggest that you have something that you can bring inside that is going to be clean burning, something that's safe for inside, something that's rated for inside, because you don't want to draw attention.
No, but you can use your air fryer.
No, you can't.
I know. I was joking. I was completely joking. No, because if you don't have power, you ain't running your air fryer.
You just don't want an audience if you're the only one around that has food.
Right. And there's other ways to be able to cook inside. I mean, there's a new thing that's coming down the pike, and you guys have probably seen it, where they want to get rid of propane stoves or gas stoves.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They, you know who they are,
Yeah.
want to get rid of gas stoves, and it's because that way you can't cook. If you only have an electric stove,
It'll be controlled.
right. If you have a gas stove, you can still light your stove because without the electric start. I know most modern or gas stoves have electric starts. I know ours does. We had an old one that used to have pilot lights. I'm actually kind of glad we don't have those anymore, just because if the pilot light gets burned out, then there's propane leaking in your house. We've actually had that happen.
It was scary.
It was really scary. We were young. This was before we had kids. But you can still light your gas stove without electric start. And so hence why they want to get rid of them.
Now, if you don't have a way to cook inside safely, you might want to look into the little Coleman stoves. Maybe in a garage situation, because you can get those little canisters, and right now they're on sale because camping season hasn't yet kicked in.
Oh, and are they $13 now?
Actually, they were $15 for 2 canisters, because I know we just bought some.
Do you know how much they were last year?
I know.
$7.94. I
know.
remember that for a 2-pack.
Yep.
Because we
And
bought
not,
a few.
not
We
the
bought
rapper.
Huh?
Tupac. No, not him.
No, a 2-pack, not a 2-pack. He's dead, isn't he?
He's been gone for a long
I was
time.
gonna say he's dead, right?
He's the guy that wore the. I don't know, whatever.
It doesn't matter. Anyway.
So I would recommend something that you can safely do in a garage type situation where you're not going to cause a fire. You do the math on that one.
But you're also not advertising to the neighbors that you don't want them to
Come calling
for dinner.
Now.
Just welcome themselves over.
They will.
Oh, yeah, they will. Oh,
Okay,
my
here
heavens.
is one that I think should be on the list of high up there. A way to dispose of the dookie.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, and then
I know,
then I will turn it over to you.
Okay, fine.
Sanitation. Let's say it that way. How you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Because if you don't know, somebody's gonna get sick. Back in the Revolutionary War, one of the things that was a big problem that people kept dying from was that our guys did not know basic sanitation for camp situations, and guys were getting weird diseases. And
Imagine that.
because they didn't do the proper disposal. And Tammy says, dig a hole. Yeah. Do you know how deep you're supposed to dig the hole?
Do you know how far away from your water
house?
source you're supposed to dig that hole?
This is stuff you need to know.
Yep.
So now,
Yeah.
turn it over to you.
So that
The
was,
Queen of Caca. We're talking Dookie. I'm the
Yeah,
Duke of Dookie.
and this is the high quality entertainment you guys have
This is why we
joined
can't
us
have
with.
nice things.
Joined us for. This is totally why we can't have nice
This
things.
is why we can't have nice things.
So yeah,
It's all you, baby. Go.
it's all me. So okay, a 5-gallon bucket. While it's so
Not fun to ride the 5-gallon bucket. She's thinking of a friend of ours who has basically said, I will never go in a 5 bucket.
No, she will never go in a bucket. No. I think to this day, even though they have been camping, she will never go in a 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, a 5-gallon bucket. And actually they have what are called luggable loos.
Yes.
Where it's a toilet seat that goes on top of said 5-gallon bucket.
And they also have it's if you're a parent, then you know what the diaper genie probably is, where the stuff, the particulate, goes in the bag and it's twisted and it's locked together in an airtight container.
Diaper genies are disgusting.
I know.
And I will never, ever have one in our house.
But I was trying to suggest that for that type of a situation, they make a product that is like that.
Okay, well,
We're not putting a diaper genie on your 5-gallon bucket.
No. That's disgusting. No. Yes. Space Girl, you're right. Keep the poo and liquid separate.
Yahtzee.
Yes. So you poo
Yes.
one thing, you pee in another thing, and you have sawdust. You can have, you can put that on top
Pine
of
shavings.
Pine shavings on top of your dookie or
Mixed also with ash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And then you can take that out, dig a nice deep hole that is downhill from your water source. So if you have a well,
You don't want it leaching
you
in.
don't want it leaching into your water. So go downhill, go far away. I honestly cannot remember the exact distance, but it's far. So make sure it's far away from where you far away from where you sleep, where you drink your water, where you cook, all of those things. You don't want that near your food.
Okay, controversial
Or water.
topic. Some people are way for this, and some people say, and that's a lot of alternate light sources that are not fire. And some people say, oh, well, you got to be able to have, your like solar powered lighting or flashlights that recharge. And I say, okay, that's a good idea. However, you're not going to want to advertise that you have power and everybody else doesn't.
Right.
So the times that you would want to use that power, those light sources, you're going to want to do that in a way that it can't be seen from outside in.
Right. You're gonna want blackout curtains is what you really need. If you need to run power at night, have some blackout curtains or put cardboard on your windows, something that you can remove during the day so that the natural light comes in. But at night you cover up those windows because you don't want your neighbors knowing.
Or candlelight would be fine.
Candlelight would be fine because everybody's going to have candlelight, and save your power for the more important things like running your well pump if need be, or, so that way everybody can take a shower, once a week on Saturdays.
How can they going to take a shower when there's no well or no pump pumping the water?
Well, I was saying when you run your well pump, then you save your power for when you run your well pump so that you can take a shower.
That ain't going to happen. Baby, I love you.
It's just a thought.
You would use clean rags and wash yourself.
Sure.
But
it also has to run our septic stuff too. That's part of the way our system is set up.
But our situation's different than a lot of people's situations.
Sure.
I mean, we have been blessed in that we saved up for 2 years and we got basically a whole house generator that does gas and propane.
Yep.
But it's hidden away and we've made it quieted and it's locked away so that if all of a sudden somebody were to come calling, and we'd know long before they got near the generator. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But one of the things on the list that I do believe stock up on this now. And that's because I've watched some survival type people who have lived through wartime situations where, like Sarajevo, remember Sarajevo way back in the day, you know, old school. They said one of the most traded items were Bic lighters.
Yes.
Because you can't boil things if you don't have fire, and you can't sterilize things if you don't have heat, right? And if you can't make heat, you're in trouble. And a lot of people don't know how to make fires. And even if you know how to make a fire, go buy a 20-pack. Stick it away.
Yeah.
I don't know. We must have hundreds of them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we totally do.
Complete, all in the packages.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that was the most traded. Now here, talk about this, because while I think it should be on the list, it's not in the top 10, but I do think it should be on the list.
Well, I mean, yeah, you are going to need to wash some laundry. I'm not saying you're going to be washing all of your things every day. I mean, well, you may. I mean, you may have to wash your essentials. You know, like, I'm not going to wash jeans every day. That's silly. That's just really dumb. But you need to wash things that need to stay clean. Undergarments, bed sheets. If you have someone who is sick, you need to get those bed sheets clean. Cleaning rags. You know, if someone is ill in your house, you need to be able to have a way to clean those things.
Well, and then that gets us to supplies for basic sanitation and cleaning at home. We use vinegar in a lot of our cleaning products at home, because we make almost all of our cleaning products. Yeah. And believe it or not, it's not that hard to make vinegar.
It's really not.
It's not.
No.
Look into how to do it, and you'd be surprised. It's not as difficult as you might think. Now, here's another thing that I think a lot of people feel really trapped on, because there are gatekeepers in the way, and that is this: medicines. Now, most vitamins, you can get them over the shelf. You know, I take my Moringa for my arthritis, and we have a back stock of it. And that's because I don't want to ever be without it.
Right.
But now medications, some of them your doctor may be okay with writing extra prescriptions, and sometimes doctors don't.
Right. And then if you have insurance won't pay for more than 1 month at a time. So that's a really sticky situation. There's got to be, I know there are some medications that there are no natural alternatives for, but there are a lot of natural alternatives for a lot of medications. Which
segues nicely to one of the things that I think you need to get now, and that's knowledge. Knowledge. Christa's actually going through an herbal class right now. If you talk a little bit about that, because this is something you can do now. Right.
So Dr. Christopher's has an herbal class. They actually have several herbal classes. I'm currently taking the family medicine herbal class, which is so it's just for family. It's not. I'm not going to be being hired out to give advice on what medicine you need to do for this, and that. It is just to gain knowledge. It is a great class. I took another class this past October with the Patriot Nurse. She has an online one that is super, super knowledgeable,
beneficial,
chock
huge.
full of information. She does have some live in training classes that it was just an amazing class, honestly. She's so intelligent and conveys information really, really well and explains everything. If you're not understanding it, she will find a way to explain it to you. But yeah, so it's a great, it's a very important. Knowledge is invaluable, and having actual hard copies of books is huge. Yeah, ebooks are great. If you can't print it, they're useless if your computer goes down.
Or no power.
Right. So I purchased the it's a Dr. Christopher's book. It's a big, thick yellow one. blanking on the title. But it was not cheap. It was, I think, $80 some.
But the knowledge
that's in there on different ailments that you're having, there are herbs that help just about everything.
But we're not doctors. This is not medical advice.
I'm just talking about the book.
Right.
So, no, ask Hermit. I'm not becoming an apothecary. So I'm just experimenting on my husband.
That's what happened, huh? Okay. So, one quick thing. BP Devo, I'd like to point out that before I read his comment, he is an actual real live pastor suggesting that vodka is way more useful than isopropyl alcohol. And I wonder to myself, BP Devo, how many uses could you find for vodka? I'm razzing him.
Funny.
He's a good guy, and he's not suggesting. I don't even think he's ever.
I don't know.
I bet he could count on one hand.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that he's not advocating for you to use it for recreational purposes. Let's just say that. I'm certain of that.
No. Mm-mm.
So
Funny.
next thing on the list, I think that this is something you should get now, because even if you don't use them yourself, you can borrow them to other people. You could trade them to other people. You could save lives, and that is hit your
Thrift stores.
That's thrift stores.
I knew that's where you were going when I saw the title.
and
Thrift stores. You can get blankets, sleeping bags,
warm
coats,
clothing,
boots. You can get all of these things that you may not need, but someone else may. Anytime we have a child who grows out of a coat and that coat is still usable, it gets washed and it gets put in a bin. We have snow pants. We have boots. Not too terribly many boots anymore. We used to have tons of boots, but they were getting all dry and cracked, so we had to pitch those. But so socks, underwear we don't share. It's just a weird thing I got.
It is a strange thing that people would donate underwear.
And
then other people would buy them.
Nope. Don't. Yep. Nope.
Ick.
So yeah.
Rather go without. Thank you very much. No.
hats, gloves, scarves. Those are all wonderful things to keep on hand for just,
What if?
for the what ifs. What if your coat gets wet, or your snow pants get wet, or your work pants get wet, whatever. Then you have a spare that you can put on. They might not be your favorite, but they'll still keep you warm.
Okay, this one is one that's really, really bizarre to me that it would be.
Is that one that you're talking about?
Yeah, this is in the top 20. Top 20 list of the experts say you should stock up now. And I'm scratching my head thinking, okay, really not up there for me. Birth control pills.
Or
The other thing. There's the girl ones, and then there's the boy ones.
Right.
So I'm just thinking, so there's a massive something that's happened, and that's not going to be my thought. Is like, oh, you know what we needed? Honey, I've got a great idea. Probably not going to be, while I love my wife very desperately.
If we're in
not going to be the first
if we're in
thing.
an SHTF, that's not going to be the top of the list.
Got to be honest.
Right. However, I can understand why that is on the list, because when there is a natural disaster,
More babies are made.
That's
true.
So
That's true.
It happens. I mean, it actually
Hurricane babies.
There's so many that boost. When there was,
we used to live in Florida, and
Yeah.
the nurses would tell you, they'll look at the calendar and be like, no wonder why we have so many babies being born in this.
there's a hurricane 9 months ago.
Yep.
Imagine that.
People are at home, no electricity, not a whole lot to do.
Exactly. Power's out. What are you gonna do?
Got to stay warm.
Exactly, Gunner. You gotta stay warm,
Yeah,
right?
friction, right? That's good. Okay, moving on. Now this one
Of
I do
course,
think
had to go there. No, I'm not you.
I'm just reading the comment. Yeah.
Sure.
So here's one that I do think should be in your top list of, as you're out and about, you see sale items and if you can get a good deal on this, any kind of basic tool that does not require electricity, saws, hammers.
They don't require electricity anyway.
I was going to go through like a list.
I know, but that one particular doesn't ever require electricity.
Pneumatic. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh, my heavens.
So, tools that do not require power. How about that? If you can see an adjustable wrench and it's 99 cents, even if it's garbage, you're going to be able to use it for a while or trade it or loan it. You'll be the most popular kid in town in a good way if you know how to fix things and you happen to have tools that don't require power.
Right.
That's a good one.
Well, and then a lot of people have, battery powered drills. Well, that's great until those batteries die. And
They do make crank drills.
No, I know they do. That's the way they used to drill holes, 150 years ago before there were battery ones. But those battery powered drills are great until the batteries die. And if you don't have an alternative power source, they're pretty much useless. So.
Yeah. Now, here's another one that is in the realm of possibly controversial, possibly not at all. And that is gardening, seeds, tools, supplies, things that will eventually make food. And the reason why it's controversial is because if you have not started now or 10 years ago learning, you're not digging up your yard. You're not digging up the grass that you've been spraying chemicals and preen on for years and think that all of a sudden, poof, you're going to be able to feed yourself.
No.
Because it's probably unlikely.
Right. Exactly. Like you said, you can, start a garden on top of grass, put several layers of cardboard, cut the grass pretty short. You can get out there with some scissors and cut that down really short. No. However, the grass is going to grow up through the cardboard and through all the dirt that you put on top of it. And if it's SHTF, where are you getting all this dirt?
Yeah, but who cares what you do at that point then? Just do what you're going to do.
No, I get that. But you're still going to want to get started sooner. Don't wait until it happens. Get started now. Start learning.
I know just by statistics that a lot of people in this chat probably have bought like a survival seed bank or a survival kit or survival that. And they're in those neat little Mylar things, and they have a wide variety of 100 different things that you'll never grow. For a variety of reasons. But the point is, start gardening now. Get MI Gardener channel is an excellent channel to learn, especially since he's not too far north, but he's not too far south.
Right.
So you can get a little bit of both sides of the coin there.
Yeah.
Question for you guys. What is your favorite gardening channel and or growing? Who's that Australian guy that I like?
Oh, Survival Me. No, wait.
Not Despicable Me.
No, it's Sustainable Me.
Sustainable Me,
Sustainable Me. His
Who's
name
your
is
favorite
Mark.
channel?
He is super knowledgeable. If you're wanting to start raised beds, don't fill them with dirt from the bottom to the top. Fill them with twigs and leaves and branches at the bottom, and then put this much dirt. Because as those branches and leaves break down, they are going to feed the soil.
Yep.
And then you just keep adding leaves and grass and mix it around. It's a fantastic way to do that. We had not known that until I think a couple of years ago. And I'm like, of course, self-sufficient me. There it is.
That's it. Sorry.
Yeah. It's just, it's a complete duh moment.
Growingyourgreens.com. He was like the first channel that got me interested in gardening.
Yeah.
He got in trouble for growing some greens.
Growing some green.
He was definitely
smoking some green.
Actually, I've watched so many of his videos, and I appreciate that content. I don't know what he did. I don't want to know what he did.
I don't care.
I appreciate the content, but I'll say this: he's a very knowledgeable guy. He knows how to grow some greens.
Yes, he totally does. And smoke those greens.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
But even
no,
if he
but
did, still
who
don't
cares?
care.
I don't care.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, but wait, we actually, you know what? I just thought of something. We broke the first rule of being a homestead YouTube channel.
What's that?
We told other people to go watch other channels. Wait a minute. We don't know everything about everything? Gasp. How dare we actually point people to real information?
Gasp.
I know.
Goodness.
David the Good. I haven't seen David the Good.
There are so many YouTube channels out there that are wonderful. They're knowledgeable people, honestly. Then there's some that are not. You know, there's some that are just full of hooey and they're pretending. And, you know, I don't care. They can have their life. I don't smoke your greens.
John Kohler.
Anyway, yeah, so there's loads of channels that know a lot of stuff. There was a comment up earlier that about a lot of seeds come from Ohio.
And they're not viable. I saw that.
They're right now, I would not recommend getting seeds from Ohio.
I
hate saying that.
Well,
and I probably shouldn't say that.
No,
Yeah.
that's. I feel bad. I feel so bad for those people.
I do too. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
okay,
Sorry.
squirrel. I gotta stay on target because I could really go down a dark rabbit hole with how those people have been treated.
Yeah.
And yeah, East Palestine, our prayers are with you.
Yes.
And yeah. So
Yeah.
refocus. Okay. Here's one that I do think if you find good deals on it now, buy extras, buy more than you need, buy more than you think your 3 families will need. And you can get a lot of this, actually, believe it or not, at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, the dollar store.
Yeah, well, it's not really a dollar
Supplies?
anymore. It's $1.25.
But
yeah, first aid supplies.
yeah.
Yeah, you can get a lot of stuff from these Dollar Tree stores. Dollar General is not a dollar store.
No.
Dollar Tree is, I think there's another one, but I don't remember what it's called.
Dollar Mecca.
Sure. But yeah, the Dollar Tree is not a true dollar anymore. It's $1.25 now. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so first aid supplies. Now, here's another thing. When it comes to first aid supplies, it's really great to have the supplies, but it's really even better to have the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good to know.
Or even better than that, both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you took a class. I know you mentioned it earlier.
I did take a class with the Patriot Nurse.
It was excellent.
Yeah. Excellent class. No, I'm good. Excellent class. So much knowledge. I took the 4-day class, which covers so many things.
Trauma.
The class with the Patriot Nurse covered wound care, respiratory, and digestive care. And then we were covering herbs, and then we also covered diseases that will peek their ugly little heads when it hits the fan, because there's no proper disposal of waste, and people are not eating properly, and people are going to get sick. So
Yeah.
there's nothing
So knowledge.
sanitary going on.
Knowledge. I remember
is
seeing those
huge.
infomercials when we were kids. Knowledge is power, but you know what?
It really is.
It truthfully is. So here's another thing. One thing that will be very popular, if you can pick them up at a good deal, is any kind of cooler, like, the Coleman style coolers, the Yeti style coolers, those style things that can, hold liquids. They can hold things that are warm and or cold. That's going to be a great trade/barter item and useful.
Yes. If you are wanting to cook something like long term, you can even put your pot inside this cooler and put boiling water around it, and it will act as a
Depending
insulator.
on the cooler, but yeah.
Depending on the cooler, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Okay, that question was answered. Thank you, Space Girl.
What's that?
Does Patriot Nurse offer online classes? There is one online class that she has, and yeah, so it's on her website.
Yes. Now, here would be the number one. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence is presented for you. And you're going to type. Whoever gets this first wins cool points. Cool points are awarded by Christa, and they actually mean nothing. But you will be heralded in the archives of internet glory here on the Big Family Homestead channel.
Okay.
Did I draw that out long enough?
I think so. I think so.
So the first person to type in whose favorite, the number one useful item for this person, the item would be, you're going to tell me who the person is, but the item is duct tape. Who's fixed more things than anybody with duct tape? Anybody.
I think I know what you're talking
He's
about.
popular.
Very
He's
popular.
been on TV. All you need is some bubble gum and duct tape, and you can
Fix anything.
anything. Airplanes.
You can escape from anything.
That's right. That's all you need.
Yep.
Who's
Bubble
got
gum
it?
And duct tape.
Huh?
Bubble gum and duct tape.
That's all you need. Nobody's typing. They must not know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, either that or
Brad.
really bad delay.
Oh, come on. Tammy got it. Oh, I like Heather's better, though. Tammy got, but that's funny. MacGyver is the correct answer. Red green is a better answer.
Yes.
And a better answer than that is
Bear independent.
Bear Independent.
Yes.
Knife hands. Chunk.
Krista. I don't fix
That's
anything with
funny.
duct tape.
That's great.
Yeah, that's funny. Micro, that would be another good one.
True.
Yeah.
True. Now, on a serious note, though, duct tape really, really does fix a lot of things. I'll even say that it's fixed my pants on stage.
That and a stapler. Yes, it has.
Yep.
Yeah.
One time I was playing in a band on stage, and lo and behold, I got a little too bendy, and there you go. And so I saw that the guy over there at the monitor mixer had a roll of gaff tape, and I gaffed it up.
Might as well.
Keep on going.
Might as well.
The show must go on.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's not that kind of show, so I had to cover the hole in my pants.
Well, and I remember your pants he always wore really long pants when he was in the band. And so they would all be super tattered and torn up the side of the leg.
You just tape them.
And he would.
Keep on going.
Here, honey, give me a hand with this and tape his pants. Got to tape from the inside because if there's
stick to your
holes,
legs.
the tape will stick to his legs. So
All right, here's another question.
funny.
What's the craziest thing you guys have fixed with duct tape? Because I showed you mine was the craziest thing is literally pants on stage. So what would be the craziest thing you have fixed with duct tape, hon?
probably the stock trailer.
I don't know this one. Tell me.
The door. You know, there was as you're looking at the back of the trailer, the stock trailer, the left-hand door.
Oh yeah.
The panel was coming out, and I was like, okay, this is going to cut one of the horses or the cows as they're going in and out. So I was like, well, I don't have a way to screw it through because the wood inside of it is going bad. And so we just duct taped it shut.
Cindy has fixed a vacuum and a lawnmower.
Nice.
Talkative Children says Pastor
Yes.
Bulletproof Devo.
Yes.
Okay, here's a really great one. Spitfire Red says they fixed a toilet seat.
Nice.
I'd be watching out for bacteria, but
yeah, I mean, the seat, not so bad.
you don't want to miss.
Made a wallet. Our kids have done that too. They've made wallets with duct tape. Jonathan especially.
Yeah.
Fixed a manure fork.
My mouth.
I fixed a broom with the duct tape the other day.
True.
It just broke. I'm like, it's a brand new broom. So I just fixed it.
Well, that's actually a question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a grid down situation, what would you trade for a roll of duct tape? I mean, the good kind, that stuff
Oh, the
that's
Gorilla
the
tape?
Gorilla tape. Mm-hmm. You can fix a lot with a roll of Gorilla tape.
I would, a few loaves of bread.
That's a fair trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a fair trade. What would you guys trade for a roll of duct tape if you couldn't get it? Mm-hmm. Okay, next thing. And this one, I think this has gone out of vogue, and it should not be out of vogue. This should be a skill that every human needs to know.
Yep.
Take it away.
Sewing supplies. Knowing how to sew is super important. Just repairing clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you're making clothing. You take your existing clothing, you can patch jeans with other jeans that are too holy to, well, the kids that wear them at Walmart, you could just take their jeans and you could patch some actual good jeans that don't have holes in them with those holy jeans.
A pound of bacon for a roll of duct tape. Yeah, that's a good deal.
That's a good trade.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, I would say.
Well, and the sewing thing, going back to the sewing thing, because you're not going to be rushing out to the store to buy new clothes, even if the store has clothes.
Sure. No, that is the last thing you're going to be wanting to get a hold of. The things you're going to get are food and water and a heat source. I mean, those things, those are important.
Yeah. Yeah. So, somebody said conserve friends 5 rosy dimes. Hey, I know what you mean. That's another thing that I think that if you can afford it, that just made my mind go here. If you can afford it, how about setting aside some real, actual money, currency? I mean, not necessarily currency, money. I don't mean paper dollars. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you should probably have some of that on hand, but there's certain kind of metals that will be tradable that just about everybody will be willing to make deals with in the event that somebody looks at your fiat dollar and says, I don't really want that fiat dollar. I'd rather have a loaf of bread. But then I say, well, I happen to have this precious metal. Would you trade for a loaf of bread? Well, you just might do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Now, here's a big one that I think a lot of people don't think of. And that if things are really sideways and there's no electricity in your area for quite a while, why don't you tell them this one? Because this is a really good idea.
Ah, yes. A bicycle or several bicycles, depending on how many people you have in your family. And to go along with that said bicycle, a bicycle trailer.
Yes.
The ones that are supposed to hold kids.
Or motorcycle trailer.
Or a motorcycle trailer. Yep, we have one of those. But bicycles, they only require one kind of power. That's human power. Yeah, you'd have to keep the tires from, popping or whatever. But yeah, having that instead of driving your vehicle is going to be huge. It's going to be really important. You can get a long way on a bicycle.
Well, and it's like, you don't need to go to the gym then.
No.
So when the zombie apocalypse happens, you won't have to go to Anytime Fitness. You just
I wouldn't anyway. Goodness
ride your bike
gracious.
around.
No thanks. I don't really plan on going to the meat market.
She doesn't mean actual deli.
No.
Delicious deli cuts.
No.
Now, okay, here's one that I think is going to go hand in hand, and I think this is going to be the last one we're going to talk about today because this is a topic that we could go on and on and on with, and we'll come back at another day to chat more. But what kind of ability do you have to make your own proteins at home? Do you have chickens? Can you raise chickens? If you can't raise chickens, you can probably raise rabbits, even if you're in an HOA type situation.
Yep.
And then
quail, actually.
Yes.
You can have quail in your garage.
That's right. So for those folks who are in that kind of an apartment situation, that might be a little more difficult, but you can still do birdies.
Yep. Sure can.
So I would look into that, but then also don't discount animal foods and pet foods. Even if you don't have a pet, there are so many people that they love their animals so much that they will go without to feed their pet.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I understand it. I get it. But, trading a bag of, kitty food would probably be a great barter item.
Yes. I was just thinking of something to not say.
could always nothing. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Last thing though.
Yeah.
Well, two last things. Do you have a way to make sure that people don't come and hurt you or your family? Mm-hmm. And we can't go much further with that, but I think that you guys know when I say that storing a healthy amount of lead on hand would be a good idea. Mm-hmm. And knowing how to throw that lead at a high velocity.
Correct. Yes.
You know, my arm is kind of getting... So I might have to have a different way to get that going faster somehow. Sure. I don't know what. Mm-hmm. But, having that on hand so nobody can harm your kids.
Right.
Harm your wife. Families. Harm yourself. Be a good idea. But the very last one and the most important one out of this whole entire day, spiritual preparedness.
Oh, my goodness, yes. That is none of this stuff matters. None of it matters.
Compared to this,
yeah.
Do you know God? Mm-hmm. We're not going to cram it down your throat because that's not what we do. That's not, I believe, what God does. But to do all this stuff just to grab a few extra breaths of air and a few more meals seems kind of a waste of time if you don't know where you're going to spend eternity.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so if you don't know, I would honestly and truthfully tell you, pray about it. Tell him. Say, hey, be honest. Are you up there? I'm listening. Mm-hmm. Be truthful.
Yeah.
Talk to God. We also do, I do a Bible devotion Monday through Friday, 8:30 Central in the morning on a channel called Big Family Devotions. But you got to know who God is, and you got to have forgiveness in your life. You got to have it. That's the most important thing that you'll do here.
Yeah.
Your entire life.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
She's going to take us out.
Am I?
Tap dancing. Go.
No, I don't.
No?
You're the musician, honey, not me. Can't do it.
Can you do some juggling or something?
Nope.
I need the sound of crickets. Thank you guys for hanging around.
Yeah.
We'll be back and talk about this more, honestly and truthfully. Mm-hmm. Talk to God today.
Yep.
Tell him what's on your heart, and I'll bet you anything he's going to show you that he loves you. Because he does.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Which cannot be moved, but abides forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. aside to their crooked ways. The Lord will lead away with evildoers. Peace be upon Israel. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, surrounds his people from this time